In this video, we will talk about node matrices in NVivo 12 Mac. So node matrix is part of matrix coding query, which looks at coding intersection between two lists of items. And it all depends on how you have coded your data. So node matrices provide a way to see code intersection between two lists of items in your project. For example, a node matrix can be used to compare what small business and large businesses say about different forms of renewable energy. So let's practice it. So let's open the sample project, and in the sample project, go to query, and from the query, go to matrix coding. Here we have to add items in the rows section. So let's add all the interview participants. Not the video, rather all the transcripts. And then let's see some nodes. So I would click on economy. Actual environment. And select. And once we are happy with this, we can see the intersection or the results by run query. So now we can see our results. So if we right click on here, we can see cell content by files coded, coding references, or by cases coded. So we can always click one of them and do that. Now we can also see cell shading. So for example, this has now changed all the 0 ones to red, and then all the 1, 2, 3, 1 to the very light yellow color, and the 4, 5, 6, 4 is also light. So then we have 6 as a bit higher green, 7 even harder, and we have 9 as proper green and 10 as proper green. So this is what the result is about. So if we look at economy is more green, whereas ecosystem service is very red. Here also tourism is little. Environmental impacts, they talk very little about it. Now the thing is that if there is any numbers, don't consider it as results, because these are just that participant talked about these topics. It's not about whether they said anything positive or negative about it. It is all about how many times these participants talked about economy, which doesn't mean that the word economy is very important. Rather, for that, we have to go to our data and our coding. Now, if we want to go and check and see what, for example, Barbara is talking about economy, we will just go and double click on it, and it will take us to the data. We can go to Barbara node by clicking on here in economy, and we can also see the summary. Here we have Barbara name, which shows that Barbara file interview has like 5 references regarding economy, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which you can always right click and print, or you can code it as well. For that, you have to select some and code. Now you can export it as well if you select it, and you can code selection at existing or new code, but you have to for that you have to select it all first. Now if I export it, I can export it in MS Word, which is very good because it's an editable version, and it would be saved wherever you want to save it. For example, here I send my desktop. Cancel. Now if I want to go back to the query search result of node matrices, I'll go to my navigation view, and towards the bottom I have unsaved query. Here you go, and this is the query. Now if I want to right click again and see if there is anything else which we can look at, we can see the row IDs, last run query, store query results. So we can store query results from here, or we can save it here. So let's say save query. So once we press on here, it wants us to give it a name. So for example, let's say interview interviewee, for example, query, and then we can save it under queries and under these folders. So let's save it as under just queries. So if we save it, it will be saved. And we can see that under the query tab in this area, we have sorry, it's here. It's not here as well. It's here. So this is the interviewee. So if we want to come to it at a later point, we can always do it. Now, in order to share, we can right click and we can share it in a spreadsheet or as an SPSS, or print it or send it as a message. And there are some more ways as well. For example, some SPSS files, spreadsheet like .csv format, PDF format, open document .odt, and MS Word as well, which is very useful.